This is Joseph R. Wheeler III, artist, founder, and president of the ONYXCON Foundation. Welcome back to another live, another ride-along type situation. I call them Wheeler rides because I am the Wheeler guy. You know what I'm saying? I am him. So yeah, we're going to just chop it up as I like to do when I go live with y'all. Give y'all the updates on content. Be the TV guide for anything you may have missed here at the channel and stuff you should be watching that I think would be interesting to you. Of course, everything we put out is interesting, right? Right, yeah. Let's see here. So, new rule, by the way, that I've implemented for my channel when I go live. Pardon the inconvenience to my real ones, but most people don't say a lot when I'm live anyway in the chat. So I've just made the chat dysfunction. Just no more chat. I don't even want to see it. Because I was doing a thing where it gives you the option of to be able to say something, you had to subscribe for more than 20 minutes, which is so goofy to me that they even have it based on minutes. I'm like, minutes? How about a month? You know what I'm saying? If you ain't gonna give me a month of dedication to looking at the content, you ain't a real one no way. You're not gonna be part of the monetization nation. The monetization nation are the people who subscribe, who watch everything we put out, or most of what we put out. They share, they like, they appreciate the content, and they understand the amount of work that goes into making this possible. You know, those are the only ones. Y'all, that's the people. That's the people. I don't really worry about nothing else. Everything else is like, what you talking about, huh? Don't exist, irrelevant, like, quite frankly, you know. So shout out to all my monetization nation, everybody who has subscribed. We appreciate y'all so much. We see the watch time hours going up day by day, and that's goal number one. That would have been goal number one. Now it's goal number halfway. Like, we almost there to at least 3,000. We're over halfway. We're like, what is it? For watch hours, I think it's I don't want to say the wrong number, but it's almost there. I know it's 2,000 something, so we almost there. We keep getting eyes on content every day. We're gonna mess around and hit 3,000. And once we get 3,000, starts the monetization process of whenever I'm live, people can do super chats. Now, at that point, yeah, I will allow comments, but again, I'm still gonna be limiting it to just subscribers. You know, I mean, yeah. I mean, because that's going to be the only people who going to send you some money and super chat anyway. Ain't going to be no, you know, that's just how that goes. Anybody who would want to send you something will more than likely be a subscriber. So that's going to be a good look. When the time is right, we can't wait for it. We're looking forward to that. That's going to be great. That's going to be great. Shout out to all my ATL people who are still celebrating that Falcons win. That's why I put on my Falcon gear today. I said, you know, which of my mirror on the wall, which of my caps is gonna do it all? You know, I said, I'm gonna rock my Falcons joint today. I'm gonna shout them out because they pulled it off unbelievably. I didn't see the game, but I did see, you know, some highlights from it, and I was impressed. You know, this is ONYXCON fitness sports talk right now. You can say little segment that we used to do. I do my little brief moment of that to say that, you know, for Philadelphia, and shout out to Philly too. Philly is one of my teams still. I like the Eagles, especially for the quarterback. Hurts is the man, and I wish him well still, you know, because one thing about Falcons that I know, they'll give you a couple of good weekends, and you have a couple of great Mondays and Thursdays, but you're going to also have some more misery because they're going to do that weird stuff. As soon as they get it right, they're going to mess it up. That's just what they do, unfortunately. That's just being really from Atlanta and knowing how it goes, right? And that's not to say it can't get to the point where we have a team in the future that's just amazing and always winning. That just happens over time. That gets built. That don't happen in just one season per se. You got to have more players brought in on a certain level. I have heard incredibly great things about their defense, so that shows when you go up against the Eagles and end up 22-21. That's amazing. I mean, for it to even be that low of a score and for them to win it with 1 point says a lot. So there's potential. That's all I can say. I'm proud of them for that. There is potential. Hopefully Falcons gonna be a wild card at best this year. You know, that's my early prediction, and that's not feeling like they can't do better. I mean, hopefully they do, because one thing about the way that, you know, that level of sport in the NFL works these days is let too many players get hurt on a team that's killing everybody, and then that's all it takes for the team that's not as good to be as good, because it's all about those 1 or 2 or 3 players that are the superstars. If you got a great defense, I mean, everybody's a star, but I'm saying you got great defense, you got decent offense, but you got a couple of stars, let one of them get hurt and it's messed up. It messed up the whole season. You know, quite frankly, that might be the reason why Hurts ain't what he was last year, because he got hurt, you know. No pun intended to his last name. I'm saying that's really sad, you know, because he's a legend. He really is. He really is. And I give him all his just due. So it's going to be what it's going to be. Whatever it will be, that'll be that. In other news, we're getting closer and closer. This will be the official weekend open for that Transformers 1, the animation, which keeps getting great reviews. And a lot of people have seen some pre-screenings and done reviews like I did. If you haven't seen our pre-screening review, make sure you check that out. I'm not going to give it away. I'm just going to let you watch that and see what we had to say about it. When I say we, it was me and a good friend of mine who's a journalist in everything pop culture, but especially comic books and anime and manga and all that. He's a real pro at it. Good brother named Darius Washington, who joined me for a brief after the pre-screening talk about Transformers 1. So if you haven't seen that yet, like I say, it's right here on ONYXCON. Check that out. And I posted today a new video, real quick fun video. I was responding to the reality of all this noise about Shannon Sharp and what happened with him. If you're not familiar, Shannon Sharp, former NFL player turned commentator turned podcast legend. You know, you should, pretty much anybody in the world might know who he is right now, but I don't always bet on that just because of the hype of something in America, because I learned from traveling what's a big deal here is not necessarily a big deal overseas. It just isn't. People got their own heroes, their own news, their own everything, and their own cultures, and that's cool. I think that's the way it ought to be. I don't want to get off the plane and feel like I didn't leave, you know. So anyway, he had a moment where, if you didn't hear about this, supposedly, according to him, he didn't know his phone was on when he was having sex, and he went live on Instagram. Yeah. Now, comedians are having an absolute field day with this Shay Shay moment. That's his nickname, Shay Shay, but Shannon Sharp. And he basically, supposedly, didn't know that his phone was on while he was getting it in, and you can't see anything. It was like supposed to be like just, I haven't even seen the footage. I seen like a clip of it, somebody making a joke about it and showed a clip of it, so that gave me enough to know what everybody was talking about. And people describe him, you know, doing dirty talk and grunting and carrying on, but you just see like the floor. It would be like the view if somebody had their phone hanging off the edge of the bed or off the edge of a nightstand, and you could just see the floor. And it's like, so many comedians have made the joke, like, you have to do so many steps to go live. There's no way in the hell he didn't know his phone was live. And then to make it worse, when he turned around and made his apology, he's advertising now for some company that sells basically blue pills, you know what I'm saying, Viagra. I mean, a different, you know, one of them variants of it, not necessarily Viagra itself. But anyway, that's what he's promoting now. And in his other show, besides Club Shay Shay, where he does the main interview podcast, he has a show he does with Ocho Cinco, the Nightcap. And him and Ocho up there, this is when he did the supposed apology. He wasn't apologizing, he was bragging. He's talking about how, you know, I told you, Ocho, I told you I'll be getting it in. So, you know, and it wasn't nothing but them pills, man. I was on them pills, man. And it was like, what the pill got to do with pushing buttons and knowing that your phone is on? Like, it was silly. It was real silly. So anyway, I decided, because of that, it's amazing how the algorithm works and how people's stuff works with interest in stuff. But as soon as something becomes a hot topic, all of a sudden you get flooded with advertisements for whatever that's related to. So now you can't. I wish we could control the ads that we see, but we really can't. They have that little button when you don't like an ad and you say, this is irrelevant, I don't like it, whatever. It don't matter. Because there was one that was running for months that every time it would pop up, I would say, I don't want to see this. Still see it, still see it. Anyway, so I made a little jokey joke, but it's serious. It's actually a serious thing. And the advice that I gave is scientifically proven, actually, about how to help with erectile dysfunction. So check that out at your leisure. Fellas especially, ladies, get a laugh, and more importantly, tell your man every bit of what I said is the truth. Y'all need to know it. Deal with it. I ain't gonna even tell you. It says the secret pill for erectile dysfunction. I ain't gonna tell you what the secret is here. You gotta go watch the video. Hell, this is part of it right here. Quiet hell.